स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाचालकतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
So, is it echoing? You are feeling echo, right? I feel echo. I myself is no minor, but it's clear. Okay, good. Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for the Sunday feast and special day. Today is a Radhashtami. Radhashtami is just 2 weeks after Sri Krishna Janmashtami. So today is the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. I think it's fine. So today is the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. So Radharani appeared just 2 weeks after that. So many people have this confusion that Radharani is elder than Krishna. Able to hear? Okay. Radharani is elder than Krishna. No, it's a misconception. Actually, Radharani is 1 year 15 days younger than Krishna. 1 year 15 days. Okay. So before I'm happy to meet all of you after a long time. So it's a privilege actually to glorify Srimati Radharani. So we know this verse from Rupa Goswami, who is actually Rupa Manjari, who is actually intimate associate of Srimati Radharani. He says that Iha yasya harendhasya karmana manasagina nikila swapyavastasu jivan muktasa uchyate. Anyone who desires Iha yasya harendhasya, anyone who desires to serve Krishna, how? Harendhasya karmana manasagina. With karmana means through actions, manasa with mind, gira means speech. Karmana manasa gira. Nikilasvapi avastasu. If anyone does like that with actions, speech and mind, jivan muktasa uchyate. So he is actually considered liberated while staying in the material world. So this is composed by Rupa Goswami, who is actually close and intimate associate of Srimati Radharani. So Janmashtami we celebrate, Radhashtami also we celebrate. So Janmashtami is for publicizing. Come to the lotus feet of Krishna. It's a marketing strategy to bring all the conditioned souls to the lotus feet of Krishna. You see AECS level on the day of Janmashtami we will get 20,000, 25,000, 15,000. Not only here. If you see Hyderabad, there is more than 1 lakh of people. In Pakistan, ISKCON Pakistan also celebrated Janmashtami. More than 1 lakh of people have attended Janmashtami celebration. But all of them, they don't turn up to the ISKCON temple immediately. All of them, they don't turn to practice Krishna consciousness immediately. So, Janmashtami is for general public and Radhashtami is for devotees. Because Radhashtami talks about service, because Radha is embodiment of love. Love means service, because there is no meaning to the love without service. So Radhashtami means service section. That means it is for devotees who want to progress in Krishna consciousness. Definitely getting in touch with Krishna consciousness movement is a great fortune. Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavanti. But more fortunate than that is actually one who takes to this process seriously, and Radhashtami reminds us of that, because all the devotees, there are only very handful of devotees here. So this festival is to remind us to progress in Krishna consciousness, and definitely Radha is a higher subject matter. It is for advanced devotees. Definitely to speak on Radha is the most difficult thing. That's why we don't discuss about Radharani so often. Even though we worship Radha and Krishna, we don't discuss about Radharani in publicly. Because you see, when the topic of Radha comes, there's the intimate dealings of Radha and Krishna. Generally people misunderstand. So in this current age, when people have a doubt whether God exists or not, and on the day of Radhashtami, when we are actually thinking about, yes, Krishna exists, Krishna is a person, Krishna also has feelings, emotions, and Krishna also deals with his devotees in a very, very intimate way. That's how Radha Krishna pastimes, they show that. So, but there is a tendency to, mistake them with the ordinary lusty affairs. So that's why Prabhupada want all of us to be very careful in discussing that. So we don't discuss, because as I said, it's an advanced subject matter. But today for us devotees, it's a very important day, because Radharani is a topmost devotee. If topmost devotee, how she became a topmost devotee? What is that speciality she exhibits in serving the Lord Krishna? Because that is what we want to learn from. Because we learn from Prabhupada, we learn from advanced devotees how to advance in devotional service. So from Radharani we can learn many, many things. And many subject matter we cannot discuss today also. But the more we progress in Krishna consciousness, the more we will appreciate Radha and Krishna. That's why in our conditioned state we worship Radha and Krishna in awe and reverence, in the mood of Lakshmi and Narayana. But today we will try to discuss something, how Radharani is very, very special. So why Radharani is always with Krishna in the picture? Because as I mentioned, Radharani is the topmost devotee. Why she is the topmost devotee? Because she alone knows how to serve Krishna best. So with Krishna, service is always associated. Okay, because what is our constitutional position? Our constitutional position also, Jivera Sarubai Nityadas, service. This is very important. And Radharani exemplifies the service attitude. So she alone knows, she is with Krishna because she alone knows how to serve Krishna the best. Because Krishna is our master, our beloved Lord, we want to make Krishna happy. How to make someone happy? By service. Either we serve them to make them happy, or we allow someone to serve that person to be happy, but who knows the best to serve? So now, who knows the best to serve Krishna? Radharani. That's why Radharani is always with Krishna. She understands the mood of Krishna. She knows how to serve Krishna best. That's why she is always with, Krishna is always with Radharani. Because she knows how to serve Krishna best. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us some conclusion. We are in the line of Gaudiya Parampara. He has given us some conclusion. What is that conclusion? So, this is a conclusion given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is what our direction. Aradhyo Bhagavan Rajeshu Tanaya Taddama Vrindavanam Ramya Chitupasana Vrajavadu Varge Naya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamalam Prema Pumato Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamitam Tatradharo Nakara. So this is the conclusion given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If at all we call ourselves as a Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Gaudiya, the followers of Gauranga. Then this is the conclusion we take. What is that? Aradhyo Bhagavan. Who is our Aradhya? Lord Krishna. But specifically in Lord Krishna also, Rajeshu Tanaya. Who is Rajaisha? Is Nanda Maharaj. The son of Nanda Maharaj is our worshipable Lord, not Dwarkadish, not Mathuradish. Especially our beloved Lord is, our worshipable Lord is Rajeshu Tanaya. And then Tadama Vrindavan, our worshipable abode is Vrindavan, topmost abode is Vrindavanam. Aradhya Bhagavan, Rajeshu Tanaya, Tadama Vrindavanam. And the topmost worship is exhibited by Ramya Upasana Vrajavadu. The worship exhibited by the Vrajavadu gopis. That is our way of worship. Ramya Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Yakalpita. What is our evidence? Proof, authority, Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, there are many chapters, many discussions about Radha and Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is the proof, evidence. And who is telling all these things? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as per Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is the conclusion. Tatra Dharona Praha. So there is no other. And what is the ultimate goal of a living entity? Prema Pumartho Mahan, not Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Rather, the goal is Krishna Prem. So we talk about Krishna Prem, but what is Krishna Prem? So as I said, this is a higher subject matter. But what is Krishna Prem? That is actually the pinnacle of that love for Krishna is exhibited by Srimati Radharani. So that is what Radharani experiences in love with Krishna, how she loves Krishna. So Krishna came in the mood of Radharani to give to all of us. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Namo Mahavadan, is most magnanimous incarnation of the Lord. Radha is the most magnanimous Supreme Lord. He came to give the highest love for Krishna and tell what it is. And it is not given by any other Acharya. No one else has given. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very, very special. He came all the way from the spiritual world, brought his Goloka Premadhan, the wealth of Goloka Vrindavan, to share with all the conditioned living entities. So you see, for conditioned living entities, this is like, Kabaddi wala. Kabaddi means those who take the scraps. For them, giving like a diamond. So all of us in the Kali Yuga, we are afflicted with so many conditionings. What is that verse? Kalo Yugasmin Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya Upadruta. We are hardly interested in spiritual life. Even if we are interested in spiritual life, our minds are constantly tormented, disturbed, always disturbed. For such kind of people to talk about a subject matter beyond modes of material nature is very difficult. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give. That's why he is most merciful. Because we are not qualified to take that, but still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give that. That's why he is most magnanimous. So, but what is the meaning of Radha? So just now we said Vargena Yagu, Upasana, worship. So if you see either Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, there is no direct mentioning of the word Radha. Is there any direct mentioning of the word Radha either in Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam? In this book is there, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that's why all devotees should read Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you don't read Chaitanya Charitamrita, being a follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will miss nectar. Okay? But yeah, we have to follow in a certain way. So eventually we should have a desire to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. But Radha the word Radha doesn't come in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. But what is Radha? Radha word comes from Aradhana. ఆరాధన అనయారాధితోనూన భగవాన్ ఈశ్వరు హరి ఎన్నో విహాయ గోవింద ప్రీతోయం అనయ రహ. దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఓన్లీ వర్డ్స్ వేర్ Sukadeva Goswami with great hesitation he takes the word Radha Anayaradhito Nunam Aradhita worship. So that's why this is actually told gopis were discussing them. So dear friends, Krishna has taken Radha to a secluded place because he is worshipped by Radha the topmost way. Anayaradhitonam. So this Radha is derived from this particular word Aradhana. Aradhana means worship. So Sukadeva Goswami was very hesitant to talk about this Radharani directly. That's why he don't use the word Radha. He always use the word chief of the gopis. So why he was hesitating? Because if he starts speaking the word Radha, then he will enter into ecstasy and then he will not be able to continue speaking on the subject matter. So, but for us, we speak Radha, Krishna, but we don't experience anything. That's why in a conditioned state, Radha and Krishna, they are very, very far. They are very difficult to access. So, for us, other way is there. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives access to Radha and Krishna. Of course, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Nityananda Prabhu. So through Guru Tattva we have access. We don't have direct access to Radha and Krishna. So, but this worship is very important because Radha worshipped the Krishna topmost. Her name is Radha. So Radha has many names. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Govindanandini Radha, Govinda Mohini, Govinda Sarvasva, Sarvakanta Shiromani. See, Govinda Anandini. See, everyone comes to Krishna to become happy. Is it? Anandamayo Vyasa. They all have the nature to become happy. But everyone comes to Krishna to be happy. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, what is that? Chaturvida Bhajantrema Jana Sukritinat. Ato Jignasararthati Jnanicha Bharatarshava. Everyone is distressed. They come to Krishna ultimately to become happy. And that is the way of happiness. Because in the material world, however we may be, we cannot be happy. Yatha taror moola nishechanena. So just like, of course, by pleasing Krishna, we can please everyone. By pleasing Krishna, we can also be pleased. That is the secret of happiness in our Krishna consciousness. By giving pleasure to Krishna, we can also experience pleasure. So that's why one time someone asked Prabhupada, so what is Krishna consciousness? Krishna consciousness means to enjoy with Krishna. So in Krishna consciousness, enjoyment is not denied. Rather, to enjoy with Krishna. So that's why Prabhupada started this movement, to allow us to enjoy with Krishna. But it is condemned. The enjoyment tendency to enjoy independent of Krishna is condemned. Okay? So this is condemned, but enjoyment is not condemned. Rather, enjoyment with Krishna is that is what we wanted to reinstate our position again, to enjoy with Krishna. So everyone gets pleasure by associating with Krishna, but Krishna gets happiness by Radharani. That's why her name is called Govinda Anandini. That means one who gives pleasure to Govinda. One who gives pleasure to the cows and senses, he gets pleasure by Anandini. Govinda Anandini. That is Radha. Govinda Mohini. Like now we have Krishna's name as Madan Mohan, one who enchants millions of cupids. What is that verse from Brahma Samhita? What is the verse from Brahma Samhita which talks about Krishna? Kandharva Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobha. Kandharva Koti, one who enchants Cupid. But Radha is the one who enchants Krishna. We will see why she has that kind of capacity to enchant Krishna. Govinda Sarvasva. For Krishna, Radha is the beginning, Radha is the end. That's why he is always with Radharani. Sarvakanta Shiromani. So there is one verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he used to enter Vrindavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I think 2 times or 3 times only came to Vrindavan. So he used to recite this verse, which has also the names of Radha. Devi Krishnamayi Prokta, Radhika Paradevata, Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva Kanti, Sammohini Para. So Radharani's names are Devi, Krishnamayi, Radhika, Sarva Lakshmi Mayi. She is the source of all Lakshmis. So all these different names of Radha, and there are many other names. We have recited that Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamani. In that there are many verses, Gaurangi. So like that there are many names of Radha. So Radha is the one who attracts Krishna. So, but I just talked about this, but who is Radha philosophically? Because generally people tend to misunderstand Radha. So recently I was in Hyderabad to attend my brother's marriage. One of the relatives of my brother is asking, you are worshippers of Radha Krishna, but we know Radha is, the question is, the immediate question he asked, whether Radha is married or unmarried. So that means the understanding of Radha Krishna, like no, people have misconceptions. They have a controversial ideas with respect to Radha Krishna. How does marriage matter between Radha and Krishna? Whether Radha and Krishna is married or not married, how does it matter? But it matters a lot. Because for them, because extramarital affairs is condemned in the material world. So they try to bring Krishna also to the same platform. Oh, since Radha and Krishna are performing, oh, I can also use them as an example to perform illicit activities in the material world. Rather, they are not interested in Radha and Krishna. Rather, they want to use them as an instrument to perform illicit activities, quoting them as a reference, saying, oh, I am also alright, I am also doing good, no problem, because we have Radha and Krishna. So, we don't watch movies, but this is a very interesting thing that there's a Kerala story documentary. I just saw a short video. In that, we are not against any religion or anything, because ultimately the purpose of every religion is to love Krishna. So that's why Prabhupada said, you can follow Christianity, no problem, but follow in a way that you can love Krishna. In that, one foolish girl asked, how can Krishna be the Supreme Lord who dances with the unmarried, who dances with the wives of other men? So, and for this question, most of the people won't have answer. So that's why Prabhupada says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radha and Krishna are a great puzzle. What is that? It's a great puzzle to the materialist. Yes. So but today we'll understand whether marriage or no marriage, how does it matter? So that's why we cannot jump to the 10th canto without going through the other 9 cantos, without understanding who is Krishna, what is Krishna, how his energies work, everything. Without knowing that, we cannot jump directly to Radha Krishna. So that's why we are also supposed to worship Radha and Krishna in the mode of Lakshmi and Narayana only, where awe and reverence is there. So what is this? In the beginning, for Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are 14 basic, the fundamental verses are there. How many? 14 fundamental verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita, on which entire Chaitanya Charitamrita is expanded. 14 fundamental verses, which as part of that, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains one important verse, which explains about Radha and Krishna. This is from Adi Leela 1.5. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, first chapter, 5th verse. This is the 5th fundamental verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just like Bhagavatam, we have a Chatushloki Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. So, Chaitanya Charitamrita works upon these 14 fundamental verses, and the 5th verse is talks about Radha and Krishna and their loving affairs. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Ladini Shakti Rasmad Ekatmana Abhi Bhuvi Pura Deha Vedam Gatau Tau. Then Chaitanyakyam Prakatamapi Adhuna Tadvayam Chaikyam Aptam Radha Bhava Yuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupa. This is a very famous verse Prabhupada quotes. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Ladini Shakti Asmad. So who is Krishna? Who is Radha? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And who is Radha? In this verse, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is clarifying. She is actually Ladini Shakti. That means Radharani is the she is the Ladini Shakti, pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord. Krishna is the Shaktiman, Radha is the Shakti. So in Vedic scriptures we have an aphorism, sutra, Shakti Matayor Abheda. No difference between Shakti and Shaktiman. So now Krishna is the Shaktiman, or possessor of all kind of energies. Parasya Shakti Vividaiva Shvite. There are unlimited potencies are there, and which are broadly divided into Sandhini, Sambhit and Radhini. So Radharani is the Radhini, pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord. Now you please tell me, this laptop is, of course, in the material world, nothing is mine. Everything belongs to Krishna. But let us have the material conception for a while. So this laptop belongs to me. I already put a star mark. Nothing belongs to us here in the material. But let's say now we are in the material conception for a while. This laptop belongs to me. So if Ravi Prabhu snatches this laptop from me and enjoys for his pleasure, is a thief or not? So if I use this for my pleasure, is it fine or not? Yes. Any problem here? Any marriage between me and laptop is required? So this is a foolishness to bring that concept, because Krishna, when he wants to enjoy, he manifests his pleasure potency as Radha, and he enjoys with Radha. You understood? When Krishna wants to enjoy himself, because Krishna is Atma Ramascha Muniyo Nirbrandi Api Urukrame Kurvanti Ahetukim Bhakti Ittam Bhuto Gunohari. Krishna is Atma Rama, and all the devotees of Krishna are also Atma Rama. Krishna doesn't require anyone else to enjoy. In the material world, we require either objects or other persons to enjoy. Alone we can't enjoy. We need the support of others. But for Krishna, when he wants to enjoy, he doesn't need the support of anyone else. He manifests his pleasure potency as Radha and enjoys with her. And Radha also expands into many gopis. And like that expansion, Eko Bahusha, one Krishna expanded into many to relish pleasure, to enjoy. Okay, that's why whether Krishna marries Radharani or not married Radharani. Actually, Krishna married Radharani also in Bandivran. But that is not focused, because Krishna also has that desire to enjoy. That's why we also have Anandamayo Vyasa. We also have the tendency to enjoy Anandamayo Vyasa, because we are Amai Vamsho Jivaloke. We are also parts and parcels of Krishna. No living entity can exist without this tendency. That's why it's a very intense. And in the Kali Yuga we can see this intensity, that inclination to enjoy is in a very perverted way, that too very extreme. People do. That's why Rishabdev says in Bhagavatam, Nunam Brahmatva Kurute Vikarma Yadindriya Priti Apnoti Nasadu manyam. So he said, Nunam pramatta, people have become mad. Kurute vikarma, and they perform all kind of vikarma, sinful activities. Edindriya priti abhanoti, to become happy. What is their formula of happiness? Indriya priti, sense gratification. So, Rishabdev has clarified that. But from where it is coming, it is also coming from Krishna. That means originally the enjoying tendency is there in Krishna, and that comes to the living entities. But in the material world, it is in a perverted form. Urdhva Moolam, Adha Shakam, Ashwattham, Rahu. It's in a perverted form. So that's why we have to be very careful. Radha is the Radhini potency of Krishna, and Krishna is the Shaktiman. So our teacher used to tell, Krishna is of course Prabhupada said this in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna is a transcendental male and Radha is a transcendental female. So God, Krishna is a masculine feature of God and Radha is the feminine feature of God. They are one. That's why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling Ekatmano. They are one. They are one but expanded into two. So you see, when we are talking about Radha and Krishna, it's not an easy subject matter, definitely. Okay, don't worry, even if nothing goes, today is the day we discuss, and rest of the day we discuss, I am not this body, I am the spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna. But you can see that the misconceptions in the society, people go to any extent to, bring Radha and Krishna into their platform. So today we can understand this much, that Radha is the internal potency of the Lord and Radharani is meant to give pleasure to the Lord. So transcendental male and transcendental female. So Krishna does not take pleasure anything in this material world. Even the most beautiful woman also Krishna does not like. We see that Kubja pastime, that after Kubja converted into a very beautiful lady, but still Krishna was not interested. Krishna doesn't see physical beauty. Okay? That also exhibited by Krishna in the pastime of Rukmini also. Krishna was not attracted to Rukmini because she was very beautiful. Rather Shishupal, everyone when they saw Rukmini for the first time at the temple of Durga, all of them they fainted by seeing the beauty of Rukmini, and Krishna kidnapped. And they said Krishna is kidnapping. And then they started running to fight with Krishna. Krishna was not attracted. Even that Ksheerasagara pastime when Mother Lakshmi comes, Krishna was not interested. Rather Lakshmi was interested in Krishna. She specifically mentions that he is not interested in them. So he doesn't get attracted by the physical beauty. Although Radharani is the most beautiful woman in the entire creation, including the spiritual world. So that's why this verse is very clearly saying that Radha and Krishna affairs are not mundane lust. So that's why many other TV channels, when they show Radha, I heard that in Telugu or some Hindi, I was hearing in Andhra Pradesh, they have the Krishna serial and they directly show Rasa Leela. Prabhupada has condemned that because already people are lusty, and then when they project loving affair between Radha and Krishna as a lusty affair, then what will happen? They will think they are also lusty, and that will make them to go to the hell. So that's why Radha and Krishna's loving affair, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Ladini Shakti Rasma. The loving affair between Radha and Krishna are not to be discussed. It's for a advanced devotee. So there's a prayer today and then we will discuss. So, but Sukadeva Goswami gives one hint. What is that hint? There's no tinge of lust between Radha and Krishna. In the 10th canto he gives. There is a Rasa Panchodhyaya. In the middle of that he says, Vikriditam Rajavadu Idam Cha Vishnu Shraddhanvito Anusrinat Atavarneyadhyaha Bhakti Param Bhagavati Pratilabhya Kamam Hridrogamaswapi Hinoti Achirena Dhiraha. There is no tinge of lust between Radha and Krishna. Rather, what happens? Anyone who understands these pastimes, what happens? Their kama, their lusty desires will achirena dhiraha. He will eventually become a sober person very soon. So we see Sukadeva Goswami who is speaking. From his pastime only we can understand. Forget about Krishna, the devotees of Krishna themselves are dhiraha. How? As soon as Sukadeva Goswami comes out of the womb of his mother, he was there in the womb of his mother for 16 years. But as soon as he comes out, and then what happens? Immediately, he was naked. Immediately he runs away. And then on the way, he see a pond where women are taking bath and they are naked. So immediately they started putting their clothes. And they did not put their clothes. But when Vyasadeva started coming, they immediately tried to cover. It was a wonder. Vyasadeva is such a great devotee, is a direct incarnation of the Lord. For Sukadeva Goswami, is a young boy, naked, but they behave. So it shows that Sukadeva Goswami, even though young and naked, he was indifferent to all the material conceptions. He was beyond the material modes of nature. He was beyond the attractions. Raga Dvesha Vimukta Istu. Bhagavad Gita Krishna says Raga Dvesha Vimukta is above the Raga and Dvesha. If an ordinary boy immediately sees a young girl, what happens? He gets attracted. So that's why internet is flooded with all such obscene content, that's why India, this digital content is in a very, very dangerous condition, and all the young people are afflicted with that. So that's why Krishna consciousness is the only solution which can protect the humanity. People are struggling. So there is no tinge of lust in Radha and Krishna. If that is the case, how can the devotees of Radha and Krishna can become Dhira? We have Haridas Thakur. We have Srila Prabhupada himself. He was preaching in hippies, to the hippies in the Western countries. Hippies means, you search about the hippie culture, you will see what all nonsense they have not done. But Prabhupada himself is an example. So many great devotees are there in Bhagavatam also. So that means if devotees of Radha and Krishna are Dhira, sober, they are unaffected by Raga and Dvesha, how can the Supreme Lord, who is the beloved Lord of all these devotees, can be affected? So that's why Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Radhini Shakti Rasmat. The loving affairs between Radha and Krishna are not, there is no tinge of lust. At least this much idea we should have. Whether we understand everything else or not, we should have this much understanding that Radha and Krishna, their loving affairs doesn't have any kind of lust. So now, but why Radharani is a topmost devotee? The question comes, why Radharani is a topmost devotee? Is there an evidence to prove that? Yeah, there is an evidence both in Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita that there is an evidence. What is that evidence? Why Radharani is the topmost devotee? So, in Vrindavan, there was a time when during the autumn season, Krishna performs Rasa Leela. Actually, this pastime is the highest because for a living entity to get a darshan of the Supreme Lord is very, very rare. Is it not? Narad Muni also in his previous life, he hears the voice and he takes a darshan for momentarily. For that he becomes mad. He becomes so mad, and then again Krishna says, no, in this life, this is the only time and you have to purify yourself. And in the next life, he becomes a Narada. To get darshan of the Lord is very rare. And Sukadeva Goswami says, Ittam Satam Brahma Sukhanubhutya Dasyam Gatanam Paradaivatena Shakam Vijahru Krita Punya Punyaha. This Krishna and Balaram, these Gopas, all these are how wonderful, how fortunate they are. Krita Punya Punya, how much devotion they must have done, the pious credits which they have acquired because of devotional service, because of that, they are getting an opportunity to directly play with Krishna and Balaram. See, friends also have a certain extent with Krishna. So, but Sukadeva Goswami is saying they are very fortunate to play with Krishna and Balaram. People have a question whether Krishna exists or not. But here Bhagavatam is talking the topic that one can play with Krishna and Balaram, and they are very fortunate. Then what about the fortune of gopis who are who are dancing with Krishna? So this is not an ordinary pastime, this is the highest pastime or highest reciprocation of the Supreme Lord with a living entity. Ordinarily, even Mother Lakshmi doesn't have that opportunity to dance with Krishna. She is still performing tapasya to enter into Rasa Leela. No one else can enter into that Rasa Leela. Such kind of exalted pastime. So, while that pastime was happening, what happened? What happened? So, we will hear directly from Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Okay? चूरी करी राधा के नीला गोपी गणेर धरे अन्यापेक्षा हैले प्रेमेरा गाधा तनस्तुरे. So he's telling Radhika during the Rasa dance, what happened? Radhika, Sri Krishna did not exchange loving affairs with Srimati Radharani due to the presence of the other gopis. So what happened? Because of that, the intensity of the love was not manifested, therefore he stole Radharani from the Rasa dance. So during the Rasa dance is happening, Krishna stole Radharani away from the Rasa dance. Then Radha lagi gopi re yedi sakshat kare tyaga kabe jani radhaya krishnera gada anuraga. So now it shows that if Lord Krishna rejected the company of the other gopis for Srimati Radharani, we can understand that Lord Krishna has intense affection for her. Now you please tell me, all the gopis are there, but Krishna has rejected the company of all the gopis and wanted to be with Radha. That's why he stole Radha from the Rasa dance. So this is a conversation between Ramananda Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to tell the topmost position of Srimati Radharani. So here it is said, Raya kahe tabe suna premera mahima Tri jagate radha premer nahi ka upama. There is no comparison for the love of Radha for Krishna, and they are beyond the three words. Then what happened? गोपी गाने रस नृत्य मंडली छाड़िया राधा छाई बनी पीरे विलाप करिया. So, finding herself treated equally with all the other gopis, Srimati Radharani displayed her tricky behavior and left the circle of the Rasa dance. You see, Krishna's energy, they also have a tricks. Radharani played tricks with Krishna. So that's why Krishna is Rasa Shekara. He enjoys all kinds of mellows. He enjoys different kinds of mellows. So missing Srimati Radharani's presence, Krishna became very unhappy. So now whether God becomes unhappy or not? If you tell to this material view, they say, we are going to the Supreme Lord to become happy. How can that Supreme Lord become unhappy? If in the material world there unhappiness exists, does that mean the spiritual world unhappiness exists or not? It should exist, no? That's what I'm saying. Yes, in the spiritual world also there is. Krishna also becomes unhappy. For what? Because missing Radharani, and began to lament and wander toward the forest to search for food. Then what happens? Kamsari rapi samsara vasana baddha shrinkalam radha madaya hridaye tatyaja vraja sundari. Lord Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, took Srimati Radharani within his heart, for he desired to dance with her. Whether God will have any desires or not? Why God will have desires? We have desires to fulfill. Why God will have desires? He should not have any desire, right? He should not have any desire, but no. God is a person. What is the quality of a life? How can we assess whether something has a life or not? Huh? Because of desire. Only stone will not have desire. That's why Buddhism is actually a covered Mayavad. Buddhism says ultimately everything is zero. Become free from all desires. Desireless. That means you want to become a stone. Zero. Shunyavad. No. Krishna consciousness? No. Desires are there, but we have to dovetail that desires from dovetail those desires from material to transcendental. So there will never be a time where living entity can be bereft of desires. So this is a secret in Krishna consciousness. You have a desire to speak, join Krishna consciousness, and you can lot of opportunity for preaching Gita courses. No? So basically, dovetail desires in Krishna consciousness. You have a you have a desire to wear nice clothes for yourself to show you are beautiful. Use that desire to decorate Krishna very nicely. So all the desires have to be dovetailed. So God is not a stone. God has also desires. What is the desire of Krishna? What is the desire of Krishna? He desired to dance with Radha, and everyone else wants to be with Krishna, but Krishna wants to be with Radha. Thus he left the arena of the Rasa dance and the company of all other beautiful dancers of Radha. So this is where Sukadeva Goswami speaks this verse. Anaya radhito nunam Bhagavan Haridishwara yenno vihaya govinda pritoyam anayagraha. Gopis are saying that definitely Radha must have worshipped Krishna a lot. Otherwise, why would Krishna take Radha from the Rasa dance to a secluded place? And this description continues. But I just wanted to explain this to tell everyone wants to be with Krishna, but Krishna wants to be with Radha. If Radharani is not there, Krishna doesn't want to be there at all. So we also chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. We can chant Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru, Krishnam Sharanam Mama. Krishna doesn't feel so happy. When Krishna hears the word name Radha, then he wants to, who is chanting the name of my devotee? Who is chanting the name of my beloved? Then Krishna's attention comes onto that person when who is chanting Hare. As soon as he is Hare, then Krishna's attention comes. So then we say Krishna. Now Radha and Krishna, please engage us in yourself. Otherwise, if you don't take the name of a devotee of the Lord in front of Krishna, Krishna will not look at you. That's why we have the name Yashoda Nandana, Devaki Nandana, Nanda Nandana, Parthasarathi. We always take the names of the devotees of the Lord before approaching the Lord. Similarly, we don't approach to Krishna directly, we offer prayers and glorify Prabhupada, then only we approach Krishna. If you approach Krishna directly, we can understand whether a person is trained in Krishna consciousness or not, the way he approaches. Because when we are also chanting in the morning, many people sometimes they directly go to Krishna. What we can understand? This person is not trained. So just everything requires training. Krishna consciousness also requires training. That's why Prabhupada uses cultivation of Krishna consciousness. That means Krishna consciousness doesn't come or manifest automatically. It has to be cultivated. Because it has to be cultivated, we are attending Bhagavatam sessions. Please remember. So by the action of a person, we can understand whether a person is Krishna conscious or not. So as soon as we say Hare, Krishna's attention comes, and then we are saying Krishna. Then Hare Krishna. Then what happens? Then Krishna hears our prayer. That's why we want to please both Radha and Krishna. But Gaudiya Vaishnavas are especially on the side of Radharani. So that's a little higher concept. So you understand. So this is where Radha is a topmost devotee. We have this verse also. Even I think in Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami, like the Prabhupada course, Rupa Goswami writes something. Yata Radha Priya Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata Sarva Gopishu Saiveka Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. So Atyanta Vallabha, who is the most beloved to Lord Krishna? Srimati Radharani. Actually, all of you, if you know the pastime of Krishna is getting headache. So all the gopis, they are so exalted, they give the dust and they are ready to go to hell. See, it's not only about love. For a person whom you love, you also have to take a risk. Because love without risk doesn't make any sense. And Radha and all the gopis, they take risk to fulfill the desires of Krishna. And Prabhupada also took what? Risks. 2 heart attacks. And you know when Prabhupada was in that area, hippie area, his typewriter was stolen and he ran into the streets. He risked his life. So, the love also involves risk. And all the gopis have taken risk for Krishna that they are ready to go to hell to love Krishna. So, if we say that we are also in the comfort zone and we don't take any forget about risk, and we don't want to come out of our comfort zone and we don't do any endeavor to please Krishna, it is not a love. That's why in our state we don't have any love for the Lord. Hardly we don't if some little service is given or little service is asked, we say no, I am full occupied. We don't want to stretch ourselves. Let us be frank. In our state, we may be talking about this love of Radha and Krishna, but in our state we don't have. But why are we discussing? To appreciate how Radha and Gopis, they take risk for pleasing Krishna. They are ready to go to hell. How many of us are ready to go to hell for pleasing Krishna? It's rather we came to Krishna consciousness to escape hell. That's why we say we wear Kantivala. No Yamara will touch you. Our devotees are eager to put Kantivala as soon as possible. I should. I pray even. So, see, our state is that we have to accept where we are. Where is Radha and the Gopis? So, if we can appreciate the love of Gopis and Radha for Krishna on this day, that is the success of our life. Because even to appreciate is very difficult. Because as I said, many people have that conception as a mundane, lusty affair. Rather, it is not. So, but I was mentioning in the beginning of our session that because he is a topmost devotee, there are so many things to learn. So, whether Radharani feels she is the topmost devotee, all the other devotees feel Radharani is the topmost devotee. But whether Radharani feels she is the topmost devotee, how many of you say yes? How many of you say no? What about all the others? No. Yes, Radharani don't feel that she is a topmost devotee. Then who is the topmost devotee as per Srimati Radharani? Who is the topmost devotee as per Srimati Radharani? Gopis also I am saying. Radharani is the chief of the Gopis. And Radharani and all the Gopis. Okay, Radharani, she did not say Gopis, but she is the chief of the Gopis. But as per all the Gopis, who is the topmost devotee? Any guess?
Yes.
Huh? Mother Yashoda. Who else? Balram. Haribo. Or Advait Gaur Prabhu has told. Hantaya Madri Rabala Haridasa Varya. Hantaya Madri Rabala Haridasa Varya. Yadrama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramodha. Manam Tanodi Sago Ganayostayoryat. Mani Asuya Vasatan Daratanda Mulai. Why Radharani is glorifying Govardhan as Haridasa Varya? Actually, you see, It requires a great humility to keep oneself lower and glorify other devotee. This is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought the mood of Radharani. That's why we have third Shikshastakam verse. Prunadapi Sunichena, Karorapi Sahishtuna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtani. Actually, it requires great humility and it requires. Actually, it's not an easy to keep other devotee superior to us while we render services. Let us be frank, we want to keep ourselves in the forefront. And I also heard many times during my training session, we want to keep in the forefront, we want to take credit for everything what we did. And if someone doesn't give credit or acknowledge our service, we become pained. Oh, this devotee, I have done such a service. I am the overall coordinator, no one has acknowledged me. So, not only overall coordinator, any service. For all of us have that problem. But one thing which is there in Radharani, which we don't have, which we can learn from Radharani today, that how she is keeping herself lower and glorifying. And when she is glorifying, she is not just glorifying in a false way. She is actually acknowledging the services done by Govardhan. Govardhan is called Haridasavarya. Why? Antaya Madhurabala Haridasavarya Yadrama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramoda. As soon as the sparsha, touch of Krishna Balaram touches Govardhan, Govardhan becomes ecstatic. It is a great sign. As soon as one comes in touch with Krishna or Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Leela or Krishna's personal presence, one becomes ecstatic. That means it's a great sign. And Govardhan becomes ecstatic. And we become morose. We don't experience any ecstasy in chanting the names of the Lord, in taking darshan of the Lord. You know, we don't experience ecstasy, but Govardhan is experiencing ecstasy as soon as the touch of Krishna Balaram happens. So it's a great sign of advancement in Krishna consciousness. So this shows that we can't mechanically do the services. We also need to experiences, because ecstasy means what? Govardhan is experiencing intense feelings for Krishna. That's why our Sangha name is Krishna Bhavanamrit Sangha. Initially we may do mechanically, but we can't stay in that mechanical platform for ever. So we need to experience a joy or experience the feelings for the Lord. What is the feeling? Amito Toma, Tomito Ama. Krishna belongs to me. I belongs to Krishna and Krishna belongs to me. This feeling we will get for our children. Subhadra belongs to me. I get natural feeling, but I never feel that Krishna belongs to me. I belongs to Krishna. If that is the case, then every service which I will do with utmost care. For example, if fan is switched on, a devotee who has that feeling that Krishna belongs to me and I can't waste the energy of the Lord. So immediately he will be conscious and then he says, no, this energy has to be used in the service of the Lord. So that consciousness of possessiveness of Krishna manifests in action, which doesn't manifest in our state, because we are doing sadhana bhakti, which is actually in a way it's a mechanical, but eventually we rise to the higher platform. Let's say our Giririja Bhushan Prabhu came to my house. I should give some glass of water. I gave glass and went inside without any exchanges or any reciprocation with him. How it will? So our chanting is also like that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. I am chanting Radha Krishna, but I am somewhere else. I am in Bhagavatam session, but I am sleeping. That means I am indifferent to the topics or about. I am indifferent to Radha and Krishna. But Govardhan is not like that. Govardhan, as soon as Krishna Balaram touched, is experiencing the touch of Krishna Balaram and is experiencing ecstasy. And now, out of ecstasy, he forgot himself? No. Antaya Mantri Abala Haridasa Varya Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparasha Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sarabo Ganayo Sayore Pani Asuya Vasa Kanda Kandamule. No. If a devotee experiences ecstasy, but if it is going to disturb the service, then what he will do? He will stop the ecstasy and renders service. So Govardhan renders service in all forms. He provides not only service to Krishna but also to his devotees. He provides grasses, fresh grasses to the cows, very sweet waters to the cows and all the Gopal friends, including Krishna and Balaram. There are caves where Gopal's friends also play, and also Krishna performs pastimes with Radharani. Now we understood why Govardhan is glorified by Radharani, because he is the only one, or he is the one, is the only one who, not only one, he is the one, because we have Balaram also. He is the one who serves Krishna in all the possible ways. That gives actually pleasure. So ultimately, Radharani is glorifying Govardhan because she is concerned about the pleasure of Krishna, who is serving Krishna the best. Because she wants to see his beloved happy, the most happy. So that's why she is glorifying Govardhan, because Govardhan is serving Krishna. So there are many things to learn from him. And she also says one word in this. This actually verse is spoken by Radharani. Abala. Abala means what? Weak. We are weak. She also mentions we are weak because of the breadth of the love for Krishna. So let us take the association of Govardhan. When we take the association of Govardhan, what will happen? We can also be blessed with the drop of love of Krishna from Govardhan. So you see, Radharani, even though she is the topmost devotee of Krishna, she is glorifying other devotees. And glorification not in a falsely platform, rather seeing how that devotee is contributing to the services and acknowledging them and glorifying them. Not only that, she is feeling herself weak. That's why this is the mood of our Vaishnava Acharyas. Oh hey Vaishnava Thakur, that bhajan. Ekaki amara nahi paya bala Hari nama sankirtane Tumi kripa kori Shraddha bindu diya Deho Krishna nama dhane. So ekaki amara nahi paya bala. So at any stage we cannot perform Krishna consciousness or advance in Krishna consciousness by alone. Today, if I am feeling that I may be, I am so advanced. No, Radharani is telling that we are weak. So we need the association of the devotees. We need the association of devotees actually to progress in Krishna consciousness. We can't be in illusion that I can progress by myself. If I can progress myself, what is the point in coming to Bhakti Center and in temple? So Radharani is teaching. Can you imagine? Radharani is exhibiting the highest humility which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Siddharadapi. Actually, it requires great humility to glorify other devotees. Not only from words or external way, but rather when you actually glorify someone, you also feel in the heart, yes, that devotee is really wonderful. In spite of so many inconveniences in her life, is actually taking steps to preach the message of the Lord, is taking steps to chant the holy names, is taking steps to do all the services. So this is what we can learn from Radharani. So really wonderful. That's why Krishna is attracted to Radharani, because of her wonderful qualities. So we also have to take inspiration from Radharani. Every time we see Radharani, we have to take inspiration from Radharani. How we can also impact this mode of humility. And there is a speciality of the Radharani which Uddhava glorifies. There is a speciality. Because Radharani section is a service section. And you know Radharani personally cooks for Krishna. See, it is not only an action that matters. We have to understand, we have to do services. Definitely you have to do services and take them to completion. But if it is only the action, we can offer that action to the persons, to outside laborers, and then give them money and pay them and then get it done. Is it or not? But Radharani is teaching, which Uddhava is glorifying. And Uddhava himself is a great devotee of Lord Krishna. Krishna himself glorifies Uddhava in Bhagavatam that Uddhava is like me. And you know, Uddhava from his childhood, he did not even play. He only played with everything related with Krishna only. That devotee, when he visited Vrindavan, he stayed in Vrindavan and observed Radharani and all the gopis, and he glorifies them with this verse. Asha maho charana renu dusam aham sham vrindavane kimati gul malatosha dhinam yadustyajam swajanamarya patam chahitva bejur mukunda padavim shrutibevim rityam. So, there are three special qualities exhibited by gopis which is exemplified by Radharani in this Asham. Actually, see, in Krishna consciousness, to attain perfection in Krishna consciousness is very difficult. It's not an easy. Prabhupada says, process is simple, process is very simple. Wake up early in the morning, difficult. Attend Mangalarati, again difficult. Chant the holy names, again difficult. Process is simple. What is it? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Attend Bhagavatam again. Sleep comes. That's why in between also chanting Hare Krishna. For both purposes. To remind also and also to wake up everyone. Sleeping souls. Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago. Gaura Chanda Bole. Kotane Drayavo Maya Pishachira Ole. So Radharani, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, Jiva Jago, wake up. How long will you sleep? In the laps of Maya. Don't sleep. Be attentive. Okay? So Uddhava is glorifying Radha because of her three wonderful qualities which he says. Asham. There is a hopelessness is there, but she is still hopeful that one day I can attain Krishna. So we also do services, but while doing services, we need to have this feeling that with my sadhana in the current state, hopeless to attain Krishna. That's what Krishna also tells in Bhagavad Gita. Ata chittam samadhatu na satnoshi mai stiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichapto dhananjaya. 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. See, if you cannot fix your mind, Krishna is telling manmana bhava madbhakto, fix your mind. But Krishna is telling in 12th chapter, if you cannot fix your mind in thinking of me, ata chittam samadhatu na satnoshi mai stiram. If you are not able to fix stiram, then what you do? Abhyasa yogena tato. While practicing devotional service. You see, we are not devotees, we are we want to become a devotee and we are trying to practice devotional service. This we should have clarity. Just because a doctor in the first year, before becoming a doctor, he wears apron, he doesn't become a doctor. That doesn't mean he cannot also become a doctor. Two ways. Just because he wore that apron, he has not become a doctor, but that does not mean he cannot become a doctor. He is in the process of becoming a doctor, but only time matters. It takes only some time to become a doctor. So, Maham Ichaptum Dhananjaya, Abhyasa Yogena. While we are practicing Krishna consciousness, what we have to remember? Maham Ichaptum Dhananjaya. This we need to have. Develop a desire to attain Krishna. If you do mechanically, it's so good in the beginning. But for progressing in Krishna consciousness to attain perfection, we have to go to the finer levels of these messages and cultivate. While we are abhyas, doing sadhana bhakti, what is the desire to cultivate? To attain Krishna. That's why Radharani is telling Asha. She is hopeless because how can a person like me can attain Krishna? And it is true for ourselves. Definitely. How can a person like me can attain Krishna? Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He stays in the Golokada. How it is? No. But still there is a hope. This is called hope against hope. That Asha, Radharani keeps. That Asha to attain Krishna. So, the Asha to attain Krishna. So, and other thing, she says that Asha Maho, and she experiences wonder in practicing devotional service. So, we also do devotional service, but we don't experience that freshness in Krishna consciousness. But Radharani experiences that. And not only that, Uddhava is telling the other thing that Ya Dustyajam Swajanam. Actually, all these gopis, including Radharani, they gave up the association of the husband, Swajanam, all the relatives. Aryabhata, they gave up even the religious, because one has to be changed to husband, but they even gave up that to serve Krishna. So in our life also we need to have, first thing, other thing is Asha, hope, and to experience freshness in Krishna consciousness. And also it's not simply theoretical, we also have to show in our action that we are not interested in anything of this material world, that we call as Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojanayati, also Vairagya, renunciation. Because Bhakti without renunciation, which will only create what? Turbulence. That's what Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Aikantika, Harevina, Utpadeva, Kalpate. So we don't have that 100%, but we need to cultivate that. That means what? In a practical term, we don't want to be interested in anything other than Krishna and his devotional service and his devotees. So this is how Uddhava is glorifying Radharani and the gopis. That's why Krishna is attracted to them. So we can learn from Radharani and gopis this particular thing. And this mood, Krishna in the mood of Radharani came to give us that. What is that highest mood? That experiencing feelings of separation for the Lord Krishna, that is called Vigraha. So this is where Vritrasura also prays. What is that? Nanaka Prishtam Nachaparameshtam Nasarobomam Rasadhipatyam Nayoga Siddhir Apunar Bhavamba Samanjasatva Virahaya Kangshe. Krishna, I don't need anything, but give me one thing. What is that? Give me that feeling. Give me that experience. Give me that feelings to experience separation from you. But it won't happen for us because the feelings of separation can only come when one is intensely attached. For example, I am intensely attached to my father and mother. If my father leaves, I feel pain, right? So separation without attachment will not have any sense. So, but our goal is to experience that feeling of separation from Krishna, but that can only come when we are intensely attached to Krishna. But that can only come, and in our state we don't have attachment, which all these devotees have. So while we glorifying them, their attachment to Krishna, we also have to feel that disappointment. I don't have, but for that we have to develop attachment to Krishna, and that can happen when we are also developing detachment to the material objects. Everything related, not related with Krishna. Everything not related with Krishna, we are not interested, and everything related with Krishna and everything related to his devotees, devotional service, we are interested in Krishna. So, and Radharani So shows by her example that when she appeared, she did not open her eyes, because only when Krishna comes in front of him, she opens. So this is how she shows that she is interested in Krishna alone and she is not interested in anything else. So today being Radhashtami, if we can also imbibe this mood, whatever we discussed, imbibing this mood, I am also only interested in Krishna, or at least trying to be interested in Krishna, and I will not be interested in anything else. It is not only a sentiment which also requires some practical action, and the practical action is given by Srila Prabhupada in terms of the program. And if you follow the program very nicely, with that hope, with that desire, eventually we can also become near to Krishna and then attain Krishna's lotus feet. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Actually, we are on time. We have 4 minutes only. Any questions or comments? Okay. So we have to extend 5 minutes. Okay. So, first, who has raised? This Krishna. Any mic? We can give the mic so that others can answer. Mataji, you can say everything. So Mataji has a question. What is the question? Is there any possibility? Hare Krishna. So is there any possibility? So Mataji has one question. Before Ananta Nuvritti, whether it is possible to get attached to Krishna? Yeah, definitely Ananta Nivritti, like no Adar Shraddha, Tato Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Ananta Nivritti. But we have this verse from Bhagavad Gita which is a hopeful verse. Ye yatamam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. We cannot have 100% attachment now, but we can have the desire to be attached to Krishna. Right? Everything starts with a desire. But if we develop a desire, if we at least eager to develop a desire to get attached to Krishna, Krishna notices that we can cultivate that desire. As I said, it is not simply desire, it should manifest in action. What is the practical action? For example, if you are only interested in Krishna, trying to be interested in Krishna, then you want to dissociate from yourself from anything not related to Krishna. For example, you are going to AECS level. You saw nice stall selling something, 100 food. Your nose said, let us, your tongue is saying, let us eat. But what we should do? We should restrain our senses. So, we can have that desire to be attached to Krishna, to the extent we are disassociated, to that extent we can also slowly get up. That asakti is 100%. Okay? But in our state we can have small things. Like if we don't have attachment even little bit, why will we want to attend Bhagavatam session or something? That means there is a little portion, but it is not mature yet. It has to be mature, and that stage actually represents the mature stage of attachment. One question from Prabhu.
What's that third part? First one you said.
Asha Maho. That one?
Yes.
Swajanam Dustyaja. That means renunciation aspect. That means Gopis and Radharani, they are ready to go any extent to please Krishna. They gave up so-called societal rules. We are not supposed to do, but that is a very high state. Even they could cross that. And they have given up their family members. If you ask anyone, I am also married, but while brahmachari training, if you ask, you give up everything and dedicate yourself to Krishna, it's not an easy thing. Is it or not? Even after giving up that, sustaining on the platform is much more difficult, because we see many cases they give up but again. So it's not an easy thing. Gopis were able to do that. That's why that renunciation happens. So Krishna consciousness without that aspect of renunciation. If you say I am interested in Krishna, but I am also interested in material aspects, material world, sense gratification. I am doing everything also to boost up that material propensity, then that won't make any sense. Which actually gopis were able to transcend. And that can happen over a period of time. Krishna consciousness is not a miracle. It will not happen over a night. It has to be cultivated. Krishna consciousness is a cultivation. Okay, that's why we are following the process, but with the hope that one day will come, we will be able to attain the lotus feet of Krishna by the mercy of Radharani. Okay?
Second point was
Aho,
asham.
Asham, Aho. Asha is hope, second is We should not do anything mechanically, we try to be absorbed. And we have to work upon ourselves how we can be absorbed, to experience wonder. When Radharani sees Krishna, she experiences every time wonder, oh, is he the new person? For the first time I am seeing him. That is what they experience, but we don't experience every day the same mantra, every day the same book. So somehow we have to overcome that kind of
Mechanical
yes. For that we have to work. Endeavor is required. Okay. Next Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
You said I mean, the affair between Krishna and Radha is very affair between Radha and Krishna.
Okay, no problem. You can
So,
speak.
I mean, it's very, it's a higher level, and even the Mata Lakshmi is doing penances to witness that moment.
Yeah.
So Radharani and Lakshmi both are separate entities, and they have no connection.
No. So yeah, as you said, so this is a subject matter of puzzle. It's a big puzzle actually. So Radharani, Sarva Lakshmi Mai. Radharani's name is what? Sarva Lakshmi. Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata. Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Samma. All the Lakshmis come from Radha. Yet they are not same as Radha. So that's why even the Lakshmi ultimately comes from Radha. She also is different from Radha. She cannot participate in that. So similarly, all the incarnations they come from Krishna, but there are different types of incarnations, but they are not same as Krishna. They are same in terms of potencies, tattva, but they are different in terms of rasvichar, in terms of melos. One can put a hand on shoulder of Krishna, but one cannot put a hand on top of Lord Narasimha. So,
Radharani is the feminine version of Krishna himself.
yes, just like Krishna expands, Radharani also expands. Yes.
And from her,
All the gopis and Lakshmi. That's why her name is Sarva Lakshmi Mai. Okay, one last question I think one Prabhu had. Yes, this is the last question. And who else? Someone else has. Okay.
The sense of separation.
Sense of?
Separation that Radharani had. Even though she was a personification of Radhani, and she always with Krishna. So how that separation, and or the separation happens when Krishna left Vrindavan.
Okay.
Throughout the life, the separation will work.
Yes. Actually, Radharani at every moment she experiences the feeling of separation. Why? Even if Krishna is with Radharani, she has that fear whether Krishna will leave. And that's why Krishna also leaves to intensify that separation. But even when Krishna is with Radharani, still she experiences that, oh, I may lose. You see, if you love something intensely, even in our state also we have. Like for example, if I have intense love for some family member or something, oh Krishna, nothing should happen to them. And this is also exhibited by the Hastinapur residents. When Krishna was about to leave Hastinapur to Dwaraka, all the, like especially the queens, They are about to cry, Krishna, if you leave, always you are with us. But they stop their tears also. Why? Because tears are inauspicious, or something may happen to Krishna. But at the same time, something may happen inauspicious to Krishna. That's why, even though they cry, but they stop tears because of our love, beloved. So Radharani also experiences the feeling of separation even while Krishna is present. What with what? That fear of separation will be there.
How does this comes to a initial or not it is? It doesn't-
So I said separation is a goal, but in our state, separation without attachment doesn't have any meaning, and we have to work towards attached to the lotus feet of Krishna. In our state, this makes sense to get attached.
Person in another executive state should have that as a goal.
As a goal, we have prema pumarto mahan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave our goal. Sambandha, abhideya, prayojana. We have sambandha knowledge, we have the process, but while following the process, we have to keep the goal in mind. We are not at that stage, but we have to keep the goal in mind. Okay? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Radha Ashtami Maha Mahotsav ki Jai.